Hi ho! Welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have The Great Muppet Caper from 1981. This is the first sequel to the original Muppet movie, and it runs about an hour and 38 minutes long. And of course, it's the Muppets. Or what else do I have to really tell you? it's If you don't know who the Muppets are, that's going to be a much longer uh, video. I'm pretty sure we might need to create a Muppet explainer video by somewhere on YouTube at this point, because the current generation, anybody born in the 21st century, pretty much I don't know if they really understand who they are properly, despite the movies that have been made in the last few years. But anyway, this is about the Great Muppet Caper. This is an adventure that knows it's a movie. It knows it's a sequel. It knows, well, at least the characters make it very clear from the very start. We follow Kermit, Fozzie, and Gonzo on a balloon trip as they watch the credits go by, and they pretty much give us the exposition as to what the whole movie's going to be about right off the top, while things are blowing up behind them, going out of control. They, meaning Kermit and Fozzie, play identical twin reporters for a local newspaper, and you know, um, as they are, and Gonzo's their photographer, and they get in a little bit of trouble for missing one of the biggest scoops of the year. Um, the, this British royalty heiress, I don't know, she she gets her diamond stolen, and they show the villain right from the very beginning. It's Charles Grodin, and yeah, it's he, he basically looks right at the camera and is like, "I'm the bad guy." Meanwhile, our heroes are completely oblivious to this, and they ask for the ability to uh, go to England and interview the woman who had the diamond stolen to make up for their mistake. Well, in the process, they run into the rest of the Muppets in a hotel, the Happiness Hotel, um, which has its own song, and everybody performs. All the characters we know are in it. We get to meet Rizzo the Rat and Beauregard and a number of other characters. Um, Build out the family, and nobody has an English accent, so they kind of just it comes and goes. The accents don't come and go. It's just that it doesn't matter. They're in a movie, and at one point, Kermit. I mean, there's by the way, there's tons of musical numbers. Yesterday we had High School Music, High School Musical. Today we have another musical with the Muppets. The songs aren't as iconic as obviously the original. I played that record to death when I was a kid. The original Muppet movie soundtrack. This one, not so much. They're nice. They're good. They're not bad. They're just not stuck in your head forever. Rainbow Connection. Come on, that is like one of the ultimate songs of all time. It's just the way it is. Uh, yeah, moving right along. Can you picture that? All those things from the original soundtrack. Uh, every single one. Once you hear it, it never leaves your head uh, without some violence done to it, probably. And I don't mind it. They're there. But when these songs, the first time you hear it or first time you feel it, it's the big romantic song of the movie. Happiness Hotel is all right. Um, it's got all the things you'd expect from a Muppet song. There's bicycling Muppets, which is a neat little trick they came up with this movie. I thought that was from the Muppets Take Manhattan, and they might copy that, but they do it here because it's 1981. Muppets Take Manhattan doesn't come out till 1984, so it's obviously first shown here because that kind of technology to make the Muppets ride bicycles and talk at the same time from a distance, full body, was not in the original film. I don't recall. I could be wrong. Anyway, we get all that spectacular puppetry. We get a big. You have to understand the humor that the Muppets is based on is very vaudevillian. It's it's a century old. It's basically century old comedy updated with modern sensibilities and puppets. And I mean, puppets are still is very much ventriloquism is very vaudevillian. If you don't know that word, look it up. It's once you understand what it is, it's the Muppets. Um, and yeah, maybe that's why they're not as popular as they used to be. It hasn't aged as well. Humor has changed. How humor is delivered is done differently. You know, even The Simpsons uh, has evolved over 30 plus years in comedy. Um, it's a lot. So it's there's a lot of changes that have gone that comedy's gone through in the past century, and the Muppets are holding on tight to that whole old vaudevillian charm, and just old jokes, dad jokes. We'll catch them red-handed. Well, what color is their hands in the right right now? That kind of that's a recurring bit in the thing. One of the fun things about this, though, is that, like I said, they know this is a movie, and they completely pull themselves out of the scene many times. Kermit is sitting on a bench in a park, and suddenly Peter Falk walks up to him. It's Peter Falk, right? I'm gonna embarrass myself if it's not Peter Falk. Holy crap! I should have looked this up. Anyway, yeah, it's Peter Falk. It's like Columbo. He walks right up to him, sits down, and just starts telling a story. And there's no British accent or anything else. Obviously, it's he looks like Columbo, and they're supposed to be still in England. And Kermit's just like, hey, could you go away? We're trying to do a movie here, you know. So it's and there's a scene where Kermit and Miss Piggy have an argument. A big like he's like, you're overacting. Just seriously, pull it in. Just bring it down a bit. She's like, I'm trying to do so many emotions at once. Well, you know, it's they're like, we gotta go back to the movie now. And like so their on screen argument evolves into a real life argument, and then they just slide back right back in the movie. It's very meta. It's very something you just don't expect from a puppet show, a puppet movie, you know. Uh, and then there's other little cameos here and there, obviously from the British actors. John Cleese does the most British, the driest British reaction to having Muppets in his home. He's not playing John Cleese. He's playing just a British aristocrat kind of person who's just having dinner with his wife, and he's utterly miserable. But in the very uptight British way, he doesn't show it. He just is miserable. And when Muppets show up, he's completely unfazed. So yeah, he's in it. We have a special Sesame Street cameo by Oscar the Grouch, and yeah, and even Jim Henson himself makes an appearance at the supper club when Kermit and Miss Piggy have dinner, and Gonzo and Fozzie and everybody else seems to come along, and Gonzo runs around taking pictures of people to earn money so they can pay for dinner, and the first person he shoots a picture of is Jim Henson and his wife. I'm assuming it's his wife. They don't have lines. They just smile and pay him $10 or pounds. Again, this is supposed to be England. Everybody, it just kind of goes out the window. But what you get also in this is something that we get a person in a full body outfit dressed as Miss Piggy doing a leap from a fountain in a big, what are they called? The Follies, kind of swimming, choreographed swimming routine. And also a person dressed as Miss Piggy, a human being dressed as Miss Piggy, riding a motorcycle. So that's something you just don't get in all the other films. So it's good fun, good innocent fun, with lots of little in jokes, lots of little old jokes, and yeah, it's Muppets 100%. It's never going to be as good as the originals, but it's still a good time. I honestly don't think I've seen this thing since I had it maybe on VHS a million years ago. Probably haven't seen it 35 plus years. That's the crazy thing. 30, 35, 40, somewhere between 30 and 40 years. That's just insane. But I'm glad to have gotten to see it again. Thank you, Disney Plus. All right, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
311.
All right. 311 is... Oh, okay. Well, we haven't had this in a while. We've been doing a lot of series and movies. Well, we're going back to documentary country. And I imagine this is maybe a single episode thing. Could be a series. No idea. But we're going to be hanging out with a man among cheetahs. Man Among Cheetahs is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.